And I think right now they're a superstar Zion away from being a pretty sneaky good team in the West.
Shout out to Brandon Ingram. He had 22 points last night in the
Okay,
Toronto
BR.
Raptors victory against the Philadelphia 76ers. The Raptors are now 10-5. The Sixers 8-6. Both teams have kind of exceeded expectations, kind of. But the Raptors have won 5 games in a row. Once again, Brandon Ingram had 22 points last night, 5 assists. Scotty Barnes, 16 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 6 turnovers. I'm sure we don't want to talk about that.
Yes,
and
Bad.
another guy by the name of, speaking of new environments, RJ Barrett, 22 points last night. For the Philadelphia 76ers, Tyrese Maxey, 24 points, led them in scoring, 9 assists as well. VJ Edgecombe had 21 points too. And off the bench, Quentin Grimes continues to be spectacular off the bench, 21 points. Fellas, let's talk about it.
Pin, before you go, I know you got to speak on this, so I just want to ask Mars a quick question. Mars, I'm still high on BI. Are you still high on BI, or how you feel about Brandon Ingram?
I never heard
Mars
Mars not. I never heard you not.
I'm never going. Brandon Ingram's until Brandon Ingram's no longer good at basketball. I'm always going to be on the side of Brandon Ingram's good at basketball.
Right. Yeah, I was just making sure because I'm still feeling Brandon Ingram. There was a little turmoil last year, was sitting out because of toe contusions and stuff, but I still like Brandon Ingram a lot. Just wanted to ask that.
Me too.
Yeah, so Ingram's had 10 turnovers over the last 2 games. Scotty had 6 turnovers last night. In the first half, RJ started 1 for 6. In the second half, he was 5 for 6, so he turned it around. I think the real revelation for the Raptors has been Quickley and Jakob Poeltl. So Jakob Poeltl, they are 7-0 in his last 7 games that he has played. They win with him. They can't win without him. In the beginning of the season, when they started 1-4, he had back issues. He was stiff. He couldn't move. He really couldn't move. Their defense was very aggressive. They scaled it back. Scotty is papering over everything defensively. He has been he's one of 2, I think, players, or the only player in the league that is averaging over a block and a half and a steal and a half. I think he's second in stocks in the league. So he cleans up everything. Everything on the back line, he blocks it. He's so poised defensively. Offensively, I think Ingram has settled everything. Last night, they doubled Ingram at will. Every time he touched the ball, they doubled him. He only took 10 shots. I think they did a really good job on Tyrese Maxey. As you know, he's been on a heater. He's one of the top 3 scorers in the league. They limited his shot attempts last night, and they've made other guys make plays who aren't as comfortable. Quentin Grimes went off the bench. He was crazy. He was really good. I don't think Scotty had a good game last game, but he's been dominant over this run, and the Raptors are now second in the Eastern Conference behind the Detroit Pistons. Second. And they are top 10 defense, top 10 offense, and once again, they still can't rebound. Get Day'Ron Sharpe on my team.
Whenever I and Penn, I'm up here saying today, I'm pledging that maybe the Raptors are better than what I think that they are. And when I watch,
What do you think that they are?
To be honest with you, I thought that they were a bottom half play-in team. I thought that they were going to be a team that was indecisive on offense because they were going to give the ball to Brandon Ingram and just let him work. And I thought that was going to affect. I thought that was going to affect RJ Barrett's offense. When in reality, RJ Barrett plays really well off of Brandon Ingram, right? He plays really well plays really well off of Quickley. And I have to tell you, Penn, for some reason, when Mamu comes on the floor, good things happen.
Well, last night it wasn't as much Mamu as it was Jacoby Walter. So Jacoby was insane yesterday. And I will say the Raptors tried something in the first quarter that I think maybe went unnoticed by some people.
Yeah.
They put the ball in Scotty's hands as a point guard and had Quickley doing the inverted ball screen stuff, and it was very effective. The Raptors scored, I believe, 9 of their first 12 possessions. Either they scored, got a bucket, or got to the line. It was very effective. The Sixers didn't know how to guard it. They kept putting a maxi ball screens. And I think if Quickley, because he is stronger right now, Quickley saved us in the fourth quarter. When the Sixers made their little run, it was Quickley shot. You know, I know that this is going to sound really wild, but a lot of the stuff that he does is Curry-esque. I know he's not the shooter Curry is, but the way that he operates his shooting profile, very Curry-esque. There was a video by Jimmy High Roller earlier this offseason where he said, what's the closest thing to Steph Curry? And it's like, there's no such thing close to Steph Curry. But Quickley was like top 5, top 7 in almost every metric that he looked at in terms of how he scores, his play type, archetype, efficiency, everything. So I think Emanuel Quickley has gone very, very underrated because the Raptors lost a lot of games last year. They were not losing last year because of him. Now that he's moving off the ball, I think Ingram, Barnes, and Barrett give him so much space, but Jakob Poeltl unlocks him the way Draymond unlocks Steph. You know, and the two of them together, very hard to stop because Yak is such an impressive finisher in the paint, and Quickley is just such a lethal pull-up threat. So it seems good. Seems
there
really
is
good.
absolutely no way you just sat up here and praised Emanuel Quickley all of a sudden out of nowhere for the past 3 minutes after how you were speaking about this man.
I changed my mind when look. First of all off season on all last
in a
year,
week,
I have defended
in a week, Pin.
Dude, it's not.
You changed your mind in 1 week.
It wasn't a week.
Ox, new information.
I've been on playback with Pin every game except for the day before yesterday.
He's been out on Quickley. He's been out on him.
Look,
I'm talking
to clarify. OG Anunoby was one of my favorite players. When we traded OG Anunoby, I should have been the first person to crash out. The reason I didn't crash out is because I'm also a really big fan of Quickley. I told the fan base, Raptor fan base, calm down. One of the biggest podcasts in the Raptor space is Pinstar Basketball. So I told him, calm down, give Quickley a chance. He's a really good player. And then he came out and he balled out. He got $32 million. I told everybody, this is a little high. $32 million is richer than I would pay. I would probably pay 25, but let's see if he can grow into it. He's a really good player.
Sure.
Last year supported him. He only played 33 games. He rested 10 games. He was really efficient, 38% on his pull-up jump shooting. This year in the preseason, I felt like he was ball hogging like crazy. His decision-making sucked. He couldn't make a three, and he keeps passing to RJ Barrett like he's a superstar. Every time that Ingram is open and Barrett is open and Barnes is open, he will always pass to RJ. And I don't get it. It's their New York connection.
Three people open at once.
It can happen if the defense collapses that much, and like
maybe
sometimes
I got you.
Maybe
exactly. And RJ Barrett, they're treating RJ Barrett like Ben Simmons from three, and just because he's open doesn't mean that's a good idea. So I would rather Ingram take a three over one defender than RJ take an open three sometimes. So my point,
do that. No,
well, Ingram is a really good player, dude. So I guess my point is sometimes I get sick and tired of Scotty getting looked off on an early seal as RJ Barrett barrels into the paint, because RJ Barrett hasn't been good over this winning streak. He hasn't been great. He was great to start the year. He was hitting his threes, but then he went. You just brought up the Tyus Jones stat. RJ Barrett went like 3 games without, like, I think went 0 for 12 from 3. Like, teams are just leaving him open. It's hurting the defense, and honestly, defensively, he's getting very compromised. Last night, when the Sixers were making a comeback, Quickley's pointing to RJ Barrett, your man cutting, VJ Edgecombe, RJ just jog back. So yeah, look, the point here is Emanuel Quickley has turned a corner. He's playing way better. He's playing off the ball. I love what he's doing. He's awesome. And I've supported him for 95% of his Raptors tenure. 5% that you're mentioning, I apologize. Emanuel Quickley,
if you're telling the truth, you shouldn't apologize, Pin.
I do know, and I see what you were looking at, Mars, with Tyrese Maxey in the shot creation, and I think that when he comes off those screens, those DHOs, I think he's already decisive about what he's going to do. I'm getting downhill, it's going to be a snatchback. I'm getting downhill, it's going to be a cross and a pull-up. I'm getting downhill, and it's going to be me creating some space once you bump me. I'm going to do that. When you got him one-on-one on the wing, you got him one-on-one on the right wing or on the left wing, or even at the top, he's either calling for a screen or he's indecisive on what he wants to do, because I don't think that he has, in terms of one-on-one stuff, I don't think that he has something that he has to get to. He needs that assistance of coming off screens. He needs that assistance of DHOs in action like that, cross action, which is crazy to me, because he's a really good ball handler. Once he comes off that DHO, he's a really good ball handler. Once he comes off that cross screen, he's a really good ball handler in the way he snatches back and he creates that kind of space. But I do see what you're looking at in terms of shot creation when he's one-on-one, whether it's on the right wing or at the top of the key. I see what you're looking at.
All right, y'all, we are going to move on to the next game. We don't necessarily got to speak too much into this game, but we do have to shout out the Oklahoma City Thunder for getting a win against the Sacramento Kings.
Yes, we do.
113 to 99.
Yes, we do.
The Thunder are now 15-1. The Kings are now 3-12. SGA got his nightly 33. He got 33, 8 rebounds. Chet Holmgren, 21.7 rebounds. For what?
Just seems like he's getting his rhythm back.
You know, there was a crazy stat that Bronny James had played more fourth quarters than SGA.
Yeah.
Has he played more? He's played more minutes in the fourth, or
he's played more. He's played in more fourth quarters.
Okay.
All right.
Ron,
well,
I definitely think that because this is what happens when you got great teams and they're doing great things. Like people get bored and talking about them, and it goes by the wayside. I mean, they shut the door on Sacramento, and this is a pro basketball team, by the way. This isn't a college team on exhibition. They shut the door on them dudes in the third quarter. Shut the door on them, held them to 19 points, and basically I think that's where the game turned. I think this season SGA has yet to play an entire. Well, I think he's got three or four
He
games.
did play in the fourth quarter yesterday, so that's
what I'm saying is that I think we've got 3 or 4 games where he's played the entire fourth quarter, and he's still averaging 30 a game, by the way. Right. So with that being said, I still haven't seen this team when they got their whole crew. I'm real eager to see what this team is gonna look like when they have their whole crew. Only 2 teams.
Well, you talking about us or them?
I'm talking about Oklahoma City. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Oklahoma City because I can promise you, Keegan Murray is not that. No.
I do want to see Keegan play. Zach LaVine doesn't look healthy.
Keegan Murray,
I don't think Zach LaVine should be playing.
Ox jumps off to be like Keegan Murray's here. Here we go. No, relax.
We'd have 6 wins if Keegan was here.
Oh, congratulations. Can we acknowledge Chet Holmgren's better than Evan Mobley?
Yep. He
Can we
is.
just come to that unanimous agreement?
Can we acknowledge that Wemby's injury possibly puts Chet Holmgren into DPOY favorite territory?
It's not possible. It's absolutely done that. But can we acknowledge Chet's the better player? Just unanimously on the panel?
Yup. I'm there. I've come to the conclusion, and this is a sad conclusion, show, but I think Evan Mobley is pretty soft. And that is not something that I thought he was going to say, but like, I just didn't think he was soft coming into this year. But watching him timid to dribble and shit.
I'm actually on record saying that I would much rather him be a face-up big than a back-down big, because as a back-down big, it just doesn't work. But I mean when I say that swipe, what I mean when I say that swipe is I'd much rather him operate in the mid-post. I'd much rather him operate at the mid-range. I don't really like him operating on the box in terms of being a bruiser, in terms of being a back-down big, because the handle isn't tight enough. Not only is the handle not tight enough, it's gangly. He's gangly. He gets pushed off his spots a lot more than I would like for him to do. His shot selection, which bugs me out, still isn't as consistent as I would like it to be. He does not go to that jump hook as much as he should. He finishes around the rim. He does finish around the rim, but as of right now, I will concede to you guys. Chet Holmgren.
Hold on, though, Chill. Because is he soft? Is it like a soft mentality, or is he just not physical? Like, is he soft physically, like not strong enough, not enough girth, not heavy enough, or is he just like mentally not aggressive? Like, what are we talking about
here? To be honest with you, because he actually got stronger this season. He got bigger this season, but he still gets pushed around. He still gets knocked off his spots. And I do accept the fact that he's young. I think he's 22, 23, something like that. If I'm not mistaken, I think he's 23, something like that. But with that being 23, 24, something like that. But with that being said, he still isn't where I think he should be. And I know that, some people's expectations are different.
He was all NBA last year, Joe.
Second team All NBA. He should be better around the rim. He 100% should be better around the rim. That jump shot should be more consistent. I do like him shooting the 3-ball, but I don't like him shooting it in certain spots in the game. I think he'll settle for it instead of actually getting downhill. But that goes back to him being a little softer than I thought a little softer than I think, in terms of him being tough. With that also being said, I mean, he's still a great defender. With that being said, he's still a great finisher around the rim. But I think that Chet in Oklahoma City, I think that they put him in the space that makes him thrive in that role that he's in. Now, to your point, Miles, in terms of a skill set, I do think that there's more there when it comes to Chet Holmgren than it is Evan Mobley. But I do think that the stuff that Evan Mobley does, I do think that is comparable to Chet Holmgren. So as of right now, I do think he's playing better than Evan Mobley. Is he better than Mobley right now?
Well, I'll tell you one thing that Chet Holmgren's not. He's not a 60% free throw shooter, but I also don't think
Mobley's and that matters, yo. That kind of stuff definitely matters.
Like, you're getting to the line more than ever, and you're Shaquille O'Neal right now. 60% from the free throw line.
The whole team couldn't make a free throw yesterday, though.
I understand that, but
he missed 4 of them, Miles. When we on a comeback, they were down 20. They had cut the lead. They had cut the lead to 6. He gets to the strike. That's huge to miss 4 of them in a row when we're trying to get back in the game.
Free throw.
What is a good free throw percentage for a power forward? Yeah, for a power forward.
Ox, you should be able to make 3 out of 4 free throws.
74% and above.
74. Okay.
You should be able to make 3 out of 4 free throws.
So we're saying the same thing. right?
74%
But like,
is
but,
good.
Evan Mobley is also a
75 is
good
right.
shooter. Like, I think everyone who watched
Right.
Evan Mobley,
Yes.
everyone who watched Evan Mobley for the Compton Magic could tell you that dude can shoot. Like, he was wetting threes in high school. So this is not a guy who lacks.
That 3-point line is way closer though, Ben. That's way different.
No. I hear you, but at least we know that he has good touch.
Yep.
Like, he's not a non-shooter. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing
Right.
like. But for someone to get to the line 8 times a game for 15 per 100 possessions, 8 times per 100 possessions.
Yep.
15 games, 60% is nuts, right? Like, especially for a guy who's been consistently above 70%. Now, he's never been a dominant free throw shooter. He's not Chet Holmgren from that range, but to go to 60%, that's really hurting you. I also think not having Darius Garland in the lineup is hurting him a lot too.
Absolutely. They need Max Strus as well.
Yes,
Max
the
Strus is
spacing that
Max.
like so many of their games, like I think because Cleveland is so insanely deep and a lot of their depth is new to us, like Max Strus, Jalen Tyson kind of emerging. Some of their best shooters will open up driving lanes for Evan Mobley. And I think with Mobley, a lot of what can be said for Mobley can be said for Giannis. I'm not comparing them as players, but I'm saying the same things that one needs, the other needs as well. He needs wider angles, and those shooters being on the court, even Lonzo, Darius Garland, Jalen Tyson, Max Strus, all these guys will create pockets of space for him to attack. I think right now his handle isn't good enough. He's not physical enough. And as you said, like, there's one part where when he tries to back someone down, he can't move them. But the other part is I genuinely think he's soft. Like, I feel like if he just wanted to put his head down and just go attack the basket, make free throws, this to me is a mentality thing. And he's fading. He's fading in the big.
So this year he is shooting 53% from 2. He's shooting 34% from 3, or 34.8, 60% from the free throw line. Whereas Chet, which is why his shooting is so insane this year, Chet is shooting 71.6% from 2, 38.5% from 3, and 86% from the line. He is just getting outballed when it comes to the offensive side of the ball. Plus, Chet is just a better defender than Evan Mobley. I don't think Evan's soft, but he's just not physical. He doesn't have that look in his eye of contact, because soft is like running from contact. Chet is just not an initiator of contact. I'm not Chet. Mobley's not an initiator of contact.
So when he goes
tries,
up, you don't think
he gets
he's
knocked off
fading
his
away
spot.
a little
That's the
bit from
problem.
contact?
I
Or
know.
you
I think soft is a big word to use. I think for I've used soft before, but like soft is like more like you just some really. Yeah. I don't think he's soft. I just don't think he is also on the other end physical. So therefore, if you're not physical and you're playing versus people that are naturally physical, you will struggle because you have to bring that out of you, and bringing that out of you is not as something as innate as it is for other people. I think physicality is innate for a lot of people. I want to be physical.
You're a football player, right? So there's a lot of football players that play basketball that are insanely physical. Jalen Suggs, Allen Iverson. I think about that as a aversion to contact. Now, I think you guys having been high-level athletes, most of you could probably attest to the fact that there's some guys who do really, really well with contact, right? Like when you get hit, you don't fall away from it. You don't get off tilt. There's some guys who just don't deal well with contact. You hit them and they're just not the same anymore, right? So I think that soft and physical are on two spectrums, and one is very much like, how does your body respond to getting hit?
Yep.
Like, do you play through it? Do you invite the contact? There's some guys who lean into that. I think soft is more of a mental thing, i.e., do you stop being assertive when you miss 2 shots?
Like Brandon Ingram.
Well, no, there's the thing too though. It's like when you see a rebound in the air or a bounce, and it's if a opposing player is going for the ball, you can see people that are like, like I'm not gonna go get the ball because I don't want to get hit. That's different than getting hit and not being strong enough to absorb the contact. And that's why I'm asking y'all. Like you can see a guy like if Evan Mobley's going to the rim and Jalen Duren, hits him with the forearm and he comes off balance, that's not soft. That's just not being strong enough. But if in the same game, if the ball's in the air and Beef Stew's going for the rebound and he see or a loose ball and he sees him coming and he kind of slows his feet up, that's soft.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think there's a difference. And I think we just call people soft if they're skinny or like Kevin Durant's not soft
At all.
Neither is Chet.
Yeah, Chet, but Chet's a guy who's seeking contact. And I even be with Chet like, could you please relax a little bit, bro? You know you're gonna break a. You know,
Chet doesn't know
something.
he weighs 196. He doesn't know that.
Right. You know that's what I'm saying. Like I don't think Chet realizes like, well, you know you're gonna get hurt out here. But
Penn, when I
difference.
said Brandon Ingram being soft, I went to go see him when he was younger, and that's what he kind of gave me. He gave me a soft vibe. Now, I think that's changed over the years. I do think that he's toughened up, but early on in his career, he kind of struck me as a soft player. Now when you Swiper, you're talking about in terms of physicality, Ron, I'm thinking about whether we can play however you want to play. You want to bring the fight to me, I can play like that. I am going to bring the fight to you too. That's what I'm thinking about when I think about physicality. I don't think Evan Mobley brings the fight. He tries to, but he's just I don't think he's tough enough to. And that was one of my biggest issues with the Cleveland Cavaliers at this moment. And again, I said that
they don't got any Bulldogs on their team. I mean, outside Alonzo.
I said that
I'm gonna jump into this. I'm gonna jump into this game because we've been talking about Evan Mobley, but I want to talk about the game as a whole.
Yeah.
The Cleveland Cavaliers and the Houston Rockets played last night, and the Cavaliers was getting their ass kicked for majority of the game. Mm-hmm. As you guys spoke on, they tried to make a comeback, but it just wasn't enough. On the road, the Rockets went into Cleveland and won by a score of 114-104. The Houston Rockets are now 10-3. The Cleveland Cavaliers 10-6. Mm-hmm. And also, the Rockets are hot right now. They're on a 5-game winning streak as well, just like Toronto. And in this game, Şengün, 28 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists. Yep. He's off to a spectacular start. Mm-hmm. Kevin Durant, only 20 points, but shout out KD. On the other end, for the Cleveland Cavaliers, Donovan Mitchell was only able to tally 21 points, and DeAndre Hunter actually led the Cavs in scoring with 25 points. Evan Mobley, 18, 6 rebounds, 7 of 13 from the field.
Donovan Mitchell scored like all his points in the fourth, so shout out to him, making his box score look better than he played.
Don't let that box score fool you. It was not like that. No, it wasn't.
The Cavs offense just doesn't move me. And I guess this like vindicates Swiper somewhat. They need Darius Garland. That's where I'm at. They need Darius Garland. I also think them losing Jordan Ott to Phoenix is a big deal. From everything I've heard about Cleveland, he was the mastermind of a lot of their movement and cutting. And you watch them now, there's a reason why their 3-point rate has skyrocketed. I think a lot of their movement has dissipated in the loss of Garland and Jordan Ott. This offense is just, it looks like Donovan Mitchell saved me offense. It looks like the Cavs playoff offense, and I just don't like it. And it lends to great numbers for him. He's averaging 13. I'm not saying he's the problem, but I just don't feel like their offense is close to as potent as it was last season. And I don't know where they rank, but it's just, I don't think this Cavs team needs to figure it out. I don't like what I'm watching when I watch Cleveland play.
I know that they're 9th in defense, but I mean, this sounds to me like the James Harden effect. What's going on in with the Clippers with James Harden? But the difference with Cleveland last night, I thought that zone defense just completely dismantled them because they didn't have
that zone has been bad. Like if you can't score against the Rockets zone, because the Rockets zone, like any Rockets fan will tell you, like that zone has been like the biggest complaint from Rockets fans, and I just watched it stifle a team that was the best.
Shut the door on them last night.
Like not relative, but just pure raw offensive rating was like the best offense ever last year. And this is a team that is being stifled offensively by one of the, in my opinion, worst zones in basketball. I don't like it.
I think the biggest issue with that, I think the biggest hole in the zone, Ox, was in the middle of the zone. And I found Evan Mobley flashing to the top of the key, and I found him flashing to the free throw line. But then I see him getting into the paint, but firing the ball out to Dean Wade, who won't shoot the ball when he's open. When I see him firing the ball out to Porter, who will shoot, when in reality, he's the one open. And if he's the one open in the middle of that, he's the one wide open, Moss. He's the one that's wide open. And he's the one who should be shooting the basketball at the mid post and at the free throw line. Because if he's shooting that, what ultimately happens is now the zone collapses. And with the zone collapsing, now you can get those guys the basketball and they got better looking shots. But it's like his offense, in terms of his scoring, he doesn't look to be as aggressive as he can be in that. And then this goes back to that soft mentality. And I'm thinking something's going on with him where, like this 18, this 19, it's almost like I'm going to come in, I'm going to punch the clock, I'm going to get 18, and then I'm good. After that, I'm not going to do anything.
Sounds like you're describing
So,
DeAndre
it's
Ayton.
very
But
interesting.
like,
that-
oh, go ahead.
sorry, it's so interesting that you brought up Jordan Knott because there are 3 assistant coaches. Well, there are many assistant coaches, but really 3 specifically that come to mind that have been plucked away from
Yep.
good teams, and those teams have gone right to bad. The Sacramento Kings losing Jordy Fernandez. I feel like that hurt, right? I think the Memphis Grizzlies losing Darko Rajakovic to the Raptors 3 years ago. I feel like that triggered a downward trend for them. And I definitely think this Cleveland Cavaliers team and the teams that actually hired those guys, I feel apart from Jordy Fernandez's awful Nets, have done really well in that situation. And I think Jordan Knott is doing such a good job with the Phoenix Suns. They are
With all due
true
respect,
revelation.
with all due respect to Jordy, and I love Jordy, that has nothing.
I think
to
the
do with
Kings have a
what's
lot
going
of problems
on.
that might stem beyond that.
That
But
has
I gotta
nothing
be
to
the
do
one.
with
I
our
gotta be the
demise.
one to say this, as I've been the biggest glazer of Lonzo Ball. I love the defense. I
shoot
love
it.
the passing. I love everything.
Can't shoot it.
If you're not gonna make shots, it's gonna become a problem. Like I don't know what to tell you. Like everything else you're doing, the feel for the game, the pushing the pace in transition, the finding your bigs when they have seals in the paint, all of that stuff is great. You can't just keep shooting 20% from 3 or whatever you're shooting. Like that just can't keep happening. So Lonzo, make some shots, please, buddy.
All right, fellas. The last game we're going to touch for this fast breakdown is the Denver Nuggets and the New Orleans Pelicans. The Nuggets handled the Pelicans 125 to 118.
Handled is
The Nuggets won, they won against the Pelicans. They are now 11-3, and the Pelicans are 2-13.
Did Jokic get
for
that
the Denver
quadruple-double?
Nuggets.
Did he get it?
Quadruple double?
Yeah,
Almost
did he get
one,
that?
one turnover.
One turnover
away.
away. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, that would have been his first.
20.
That's
So
triple-double.
Jokic had 28 points, 11 rebounds, 12 assists, 9 turnovers though. Peyton Watson had Swiper. You can speak into this. Best game of his career. 32
Well,
points,
the
12
scoring game.
rebounds.
Career high.
Offensively, yeah, offensively.
Scoring game. Yeah. Best scoring game for sure. He was 5 and out from 3 too. He was great.
So shout out Peyton Watson. Off the bench, I got to give some love to Valanciunas. 14 points, 7 rebounds, in only 16 minutes. Good work, big fella.
Bruce Brown.
Also, Bruce Brown with
Yeah, Bruce Brown played well.
12 points.
He was good,
12
yeah, he
points.
was good.
Yeah. Shout
The
out Bruce
bench
Brown.
team.
Valanciunas came in and hit 2
redeemed
middies to
themselves.
put the game away when Jokic fouled out of the game. That last foul wasn't whatever, but
Man, this game is about Derek Queen, man. We
Derek
don't care
Queen was
about
great.
none of this stuff. This game is about Derek Queen.
Ox, there's a reason why the Denver Nuggets told Valanciunas, keep your ass right here. You ain't going nowhere. I don't think so, sir. Nope.
Held his ass hostage, kidnapped.
Nope.
Just kidnapped.
Sir, we have a
It is
contract.
also a
You will stay
reason-
right here. You ain't going nowhere.
Why the Pelicans said, we don't give a damn about this pick next year. We want the kid Derek Queen. And he showed us tonight at center against the best center in the league, who a lot of people believe is the best player in the league, who a lot of people believe is an all-time great. Shout out to Derek Queen. He showed his value. He showed his potential. 30
Great.
points last night, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, 12 or 18 from the field. Elite feel, elite touch. Thoughts on this, fellas?
Knowing
got
what
some-
you know
he
now,
got
would
some
he-
bop
would
to
he-
him.
Would he get top 5, top 6 consideration in this coming draft? Because if he would, then it doesn't matter.
Redrafts after 15.
Yeah,
games.
can we just talk about the game, please? Goodness gracious. My gosh.
I'm
dude.
not doing all that. But
He was
I don't
really
know
good
about
yesterday. I like. Go ahead, y'all. Go ahead.
It's not a redraft.
Yeah, I think he
Let's
was
talk about
great.
next year's draft because that's what
Oh,
they
No,
took
I'm,
away
I'm,
from
I'm,
him.
I'm just saying though, Pin.
Well,
It's
he'd
like
be what,
once
22
again
by
with the
that point,
with the whole trade thing though. It's just like I think it's one of those things we just gotta just hold on for it because it's
It might work out.
yeah, it might. Zion came back yesterday. That was also cool. But yeah, I think Derek Queen, because I was pessimistic about pessimistic is the right word. I had my concerns about how he fit Derek Queen just in the NBA, whether or not he could play the 5, whether he was a 4, but did he have the mobility on defense to play the 4? I didn't know. I thought his offensive skill set was unique, but I didn't know if it was going to lend itself to fitting in if you weren't building around him. But the talent is evident. I've compared him to Şengün maybe every time I brought him up, because I just think the ability to drive as a big from the outside, the only other big I see really do that. Jokic just started doing that this year. He started facing up more. But in years past, the only big I've seen who's really initiating from the outside and driving downhill is Alperen Şengün. His interior passing is really good, and that's like something that I think shows like high feel and understanding of the game. And when you're able to make interior reads, rim assists, all of that good stuff. And he's not an explosive leaper, but he's like agile and he's got strength and like he's like a bowling ball downhill. So like he has like functional athletic traits that do like provide value defensively. I don't think
got
he's
a couple
great,
good dunks
but...
last night, Mars.
Yeah, he did. I mean, so like he's good. I still want to see it more. I want to see like where this is really going. But my bigger thing is I said it yesterday on Twitter, and some people are saying Zion just starts seasons slowly in general, which I'm not arguing against. I think Zion was better when he was bigger. Like that's just my opinion.
Could be.
And I said that when all the weight loss stuff came out, I was like, maybe you've just taken away one of his biggest superpowers, which was the strength at that size and the ability to power through people. Like he's shooting like sub 50% from the field, and we know every shot he takes is in the paint. Like I think you've taken away one of Zion's superpowers to get him in quote unquote better shape. It's like maybe
to look more like a basketball.
Yeah, maybe that's not what's best for
and
Zion.
He's still
and
missing games
ability
too
to provide impact. Yeah, and like he's still having lower body injuries and soft tissue injuries. So it's like it's not like you've necessarily solved that, because at the end of the day, soft tissue is going to happen. So it's like I don't know. I just think, and I'm not saying Zion needs to balloon up in weight to get better now. I'm not saying do that. But what I am saying is I think maybe it's not about looking like a basketball player more so than being on the court and playing well. And Zion last year played well when he was on the court. So
Swipe, I didn't watch I didn't watch the game. I didn't watch the Denver New Orleans game yesterday, so I can't speak to it. You saw it. Was Joker dealing with, was that his matchup? Queen?
Yeah.
Was that his matchup?
Yeah,
he was getting fried. He was getting fried.
Yeah, I think Derek is very twitchy, and that's probably the best way to describe it. He's very twitchy, and I think Jokic said, he even said after the game, he said that like that's probably one of the things that he most noticed about him, because obviously every time he plays versus a rookie big, they ask him about it.
Yeah.
And he said that like, he has a very unique way that he like moves, and so he would like he would be at the baseline, he would give him a little like wobble tween, like, and then even just like at the top of the key, he's just a little unorthodox, and so Jokic had some difficulty staying in front of him. And so he had a really good game. I think he made a couple threes yesterday. Well, I think he made maybe 3-4.
Couple mid-range jumpers.
Yeah, a couple mid-range jumpers.
Yeah.
Flat-footed mid-range jumpers, mind you. So like they were like stationary ones. I think Queen looks really good, man. And this is just for me personally. One of the things that Queen, even Jane Borrego, Brego, correct? Yeah.
Brego, yeah.
They asked him before the game about Queen and Jokic, and Queen, he noted that Jokic has been like one of his favorite players, kind of somebody who he built his game around. Mm-hmm. So that was his second time getting to play him. And he just talked about this idea like going and attacking him, and like you want to make sure that it's not 2K, like go actually play against him. And Jokic brought up after the fact that like he shows love to bigs that are like holding their own and that are playing really well, and so. I mean, he looked really good yesterday. I understand what Joe Dumars sees in him. But the first, I still wouldn't have made the same trade they made. But they have not just Derek Queen. Misi's also, I think, good. Just didn't get a lot of time. Well, obviously, your boy Jeremiah Fears is good.
I believe they won this draft, and I think
more than the Hornets.
No, the Hornets won this draft.
Yeah. So hold on, the Hornets. It's Con Knipple and
Ryan Kalkbrenner.
Yeah.
They
and Liam
are
McNeely,
lapping the Hornets.
They're
crazy,
I'm
Ryan?
telling you. No way.
But what you factor
you don't like Kalkbrenner this much.
Yes, I do.
Okay, he does. He actually does. When you factor in also what was given up, they got Sion in the second round. They got Kalkbrenner in the second round.
Did get Sion
right at the beginning of the second round. They got Con with their fourth pick. They didn't trade picks to get these guys.
Right.
They haven't.
Compromised
their future while being one of the worst teams in the league to then get Derek Queen. So when you look at it just on draft night, what the Hornets did with what they had versus what the Pelicans did with what they had, I would very strongly say, and also I think Con now has been better than Derek Queen too. So there's that. And
okay, so you can say that, Mars. If that is the case, I'll concede the Hornets won the draft. But I do believe that in terms of just talent and players, I think like when we look 10 years from now, we're gonna say, damn, the Pelicans.
Yeah, I mean it's possible. The thing with them is him though. It's gonna come down to like I mean, I'll just be honest with you. Like the way the Nuggets came to the game yesterday, it was 10-23 start the first quarter. Like they rolled into the game like they were just gonna like like they were just, and Jokic was just.
It's the Hornet. I'm sorry. It's New Orleans.
He was just throwing the ball wherever. So like some of this is gonna come down to like, can Queen defensively? I think. Can they build the team around him to make it sustainable long term? Because he's not big yet. Now he's a baby, so like he'll get bigger as he gets older, and I think get more sound defensively. But man, like I love like the touch he had, and again, I think Misi's really good. If they just would have had Misi from last year, that would be a good rotation. But they got Misi, they got him and Zion and Jeremiah Fears and Trey Murphy and Herb Jones. They really shouldn't be as bad as they are, hopefully, by the time they get to next year, because they have some really good pieces to build around. But I like his game, man. Like, I thought he looked good. I thought Trey Murphy looked good again last night. He's been kind of up and down, for a lot of this year. But like I said, shout out to Peyton Watson. He had a really good game offensively. The defense was horrible last night, but I just think the last two games they've kind of just been walking through the fields.
For the record,
Superstar Zion would have saved this team.
Really quickly, the dude in the chat who said, "Imagine Shaq letting a rookie give him 30." Just so you know, Lonzo put 30 on Shaq his rookie season. Yeah, 30 and 9 against him as a rookie.
We spend so much time like dissecting how a person looks that we don't sometimes realize certain players actually play better, heavier, and are actually healthier, heavier. Not everybody should be 8% body fat. Some guys should be 8% body fat, 10% body fat, but some guys probably play their best and feel their best at around 18, 19% body fat. Now, again, like for somebody who went through all those body fat, tests when I was younger, obviously I was always thinking 10% or under, 10% or under. And if I came in at 15%, I was thinking, shit, I ate too much ice cream this summer. But I'm realizing now as I get older and I read more about it, there really are players who just play better at Derek Queen size. What Zion was playing at as a rookie, like before his injury, at Duke, that's probably the right place for him. Right now, I think he's gone too far overboard trying to please everybody and make because he's got all those weight clauses and, stuff in his contract. I think he's gone too far and he's taken away, as Mars said, like what was the best part of him, which is he could move people. He can't move people anymore. And I think right now they're a superstar Zion away from being a pretty sneaky good team in the West.
It's the player choice way. Yeah, them boys don't get it started. The player choice way. The player choice way. Come and switch lanes into the player choice way.